Greetings, goddammit. Hit the one if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm choppy and all fucked up and all that good shit. Okay, who we got in the building? Mina Hughes was the first one here. Patricia Love, Doodle J, Doodle G. Check it out. There's no beef with me and Iron Bang. She just wants Dusty's to get better. She really and truly does. I want them to twerk in hell with gasoline draws on. That's pretty much it. That's it. Straight Up is here. Vegan Woman is here. Lexus Exodus is here. You are now a mod. Speaking of mods, if y'all are on Patreon and you don't have a wrench, send me your URL and then you will be in blue. That's how that shit works. All right, we got Satin Doll, Pretty Brown Girl Irene, Chanel Townsend, Beautiful Strangers in the building, Unapologetically Critical is in the building, Healing Arts always in the building, The Riddler, aka the Mammy Slayer. Yes, and I want to be your co-conspirator in this bitch. Who else we got? We got D, Pink with a question mark. Who else? Who else? Raggedy ass YouTube moving like a slug. Aisha B's here. Shannon B's here. Kay Sloan is here. Got a bunch of y'all in the building. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all see the title? Professional Mammies Take Professional L's. Let's get this screen shared. Okay. What you're looking at right there is a former Rochester, New York police officer. Her name is Carol Horn. Carol Horn was on the beat in 2006 with her partner, a zaddy by the name of Greg. Okay. Greg and her came across a dusty by the name of David Mack. Some shit went down and zaddy put David Mack in a fucking chokehold. Want to take a stab at what this mammy, trying to watch my mouth a little bit, just a little bit. Want to take a stab at what she did? She didn't say, oh, I don't agree with this. She got her ass up and jumped on Greg's back, basically attacking him while Greg, zaddy, was attacking the dusty. Okay. In 2008, she lost her job. This is her now. It is 2021. What do you think Blackistan did for her in regards to her losing her job, her pension? She was there for 19 years and losing everything. Do y'all think Greg did anything? Do y'all think the dusty did anything? She's in the process of using zaddy in the system to try to sue the same system she was fighting for the dusty. Okay. 19 years worth of pension gone. Adios. I'll keep following her and give y'all an update. Next up, we have an exotical mammy. Her name is April Christina Curley. She's from Baltimore. She worked for Google in 2014 as a diversity recruiter. We already got a problem here. Where are all these dusties that's trying to get the workforce better for y'all? Anyway, her goal is stated to improve Google's relationship with HBCUs. Y'all are fully aware of how mammies are when they fighting for the community. They're ornery, they're aggressive, and they can't listen to reason. Well, guess what happened to April? April was fired September 2020. What did Blackistan do for her, losing her resources and her job and her in trying to get the community in? This is April now. April's making TikTok videos and still social justice warrior. No GoFundMe, no nothing. Just, this is her now. Okay. Next up to bat. I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this woman's name. It looks like it's Timnit Gebru, Timnit. Next word, Gebru. This woman has a PhD and she's known for being an advocate for diversity and inclusion. We already have a problem. Okay. I'm not going to make any more attempts at pronouncing her goddamn name. She's Mammy with the red scarf around her neck from here on out. So her job basically was to make sure that when people do Google searches, things like apes don't come up when you search the term like black man. Funny, right? Real funny. Anyway, she had a creative difference with her boss. And instead of sitting down talking to him about it, homegirl sat down and wrote a scathing company-wide email about Google's problem with inclusion and diversity. Various news outlets reached out to her. She has not returned the call. Next. I don't know if y'all can see her too good. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this picture, but that person right there is Dr. Aisha Khoury, Khoury. She got what she called her dream job in California as a founding faculty member of the Kaiser Permanente School of Medicine in 2019. First thing out of her mouth was, I'm the only black woman here. So the fuck what? Be the only black woman there. Okay, so we already got a problem. After some time went by, she was recognized in the company, Kaiser Permanente, as an awesome employee, an awesome doctor, very smart, very accomplished. She was recognized for her accomplishments. Then the shit in Minneapolis happened with GF. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Somebody touched on his neck a little bit. We'll just say that. She decides to go back to work and include racism in medicine in the curriculum without asking Kaiser Permanente, could she do such a thing? Her contract was not renewed. This is her now in Atlanta, taking care of all the dusty she wants. She got exactly what she was looking for. Okay. L after L. And last but certainly not least, I'm sure y'all familiar with this crazy looking woman here. This is Judge Tracy Hunter. Okay. Just look into her eyes for a second. Tracy Hunter was a Hamilton County juvenile court judge. She has an ashy ass brother that also works in the same system she works in. He worked at the juvenile detention doing what I don't know, but she gave him access to confidential documents and also backdated other documents, which both are felonies. They indicted this mammy. She got sentenced to jail. And this is her on her way to jail. All of this began in 2014. So we don't have just your street corner mammies. We have professional mammies that fuck their life up because they can't let go of the bullshit. I need someone to show me a dusty judge, a dusty doctor, a dusty Google employee that's around here getting dragged to the ground because won't nobody hire y'all. Can somebody please show me that shit? Y'all are a mess. It has nothing to do with educational level. If you a mammy, you a goddamn mammy. The Postal Service mammy. The Chick-fil-A mammy. The mammy from down the street that's helping with construction. The mammy at Taco Bell. The mammy that's sitting up in the judge chambers. It does not matter. Keep taking L's. Nobody gives a fuck about none of those women I just showed y'all. And half of them, you probably never even heard of them. Blackistan didn't help one of those women. I saw some sign that looked like macaroni art for the judge, but I mean, come on. Welcome to Salty. How are you? Just getting the crew up here. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm awesome sauce, as usual.
That's good. That's good.
What's going on? What's your take on this bullshit?
Okay, this is a great topic. the professional L's that mammies take, because all of us here, we're career women, we work, and we've seen it time and time again. What happens when we get in these positions of influence, and instead of just either A, doing our job and doing it well, we have to turn it into this down for the cause mess. It ends up getting us embroiled in controversy. We are fired, and no one comes to help us along. And you don't see men do this. You don't see
They're not
men
gonna do that.
sacrificing themselves like this at all.
They're not gonna do that. They won't chip a
No,
nail for your ass,
no.
and
In fact,
it's
they'll help.
embarrassing.
They'll drive the bus over you and throw it in reverse and make sure you stay down.
Hey, Mr. Charlie, I seen Shakisha. She was over there taking stock paper out the drawer, and I just wanted you to know I ain't trying to start no shit now, but I did see it. Type Dusty.
That you have a good list. I would like to add to that list Mel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN had her own show, and she was warned, about their marks she was making, being the social justice and marks on comments that she made against our president. But again, she could not keep it down, and she ended up being fired. Lawsuit show, they tried to dress it up by saying, oh, now she can do her own thing at this other whatever paper or production that she was doing. But come on, it can't compare.
Let me show y'all real quick. Let me show y'all real quick what they're doing at your job, what Dusties are doing at your job instead of helping you. Give me 1 second. Share audio, share screen. Y'all know I'm slow when it comes to this. Let me mute my mic so y'all don't double hear me.
What's taking so long? Come on. Hurry the fuck up.
Oh, wait a minute, sir. I'm asking you to step outside. I'm asking you to step outside.
No, you gonna fix this shit first.
I'm asking you to step outside.
You gonna fix my sandwich first.
Excuse me.
So I'm gonna have to put hands on this bitch.
Oh,
Oh my.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't worry. Y'all ain't gonna fix my shit. Y'all ain't gonna fix my shit, all right? Fuck y'all niggas. I'll get mine. Push your ass, bitch. Fuck all that. Fuck ass hoe.
Wow.
I just fucking
Not
hate
surprised at all.
Ew, that was disgusting to watch.
Because he didn't get his bacon, she's a bitch and a funky ass hoe. Meanwhile, y'all are going to school, becoming awesome, and then going to fight for them. But can somebody straighten it out for me, or am I lying here? What's happening?
I think they're just a lost cause at this point. Like, you've gotten out of pretty much the hood and all this other shit, and you want to fight for them. Like, this is proof that they don't give a fuck about you. Like,
Period.
I
watched that judge
get pressure.
I watched that judge get dragged to the jail cell like 5 times. By the 5th time, it was comedy gold. She was refusing to walk. She didn't pass out, but she refused to walk to jail. I'm like, girl, you should have refused to help your dusty, ashy ass brother out. That's why you're here. And he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, professional memories are literally so dangerous. I kid you. Not like they're dangerous at the same time, and plus they will lose so much opportunities if they speak out, because there's so many instances of professional memories losing their jobs because of the SJW rhetoric they like to spew.
They need to knock it off because Blackistan doesn't have anywhere to put you so that you can pay your bills. So after you come out of Google with your fist up and then your light bill get past due, what they gonna do? Start you a GoFundMe? They don't have anywhere to put you. Put your fist down and do your job and take your ass home and do your nails, baby.
And plus, they don't even do it on private too. Like, get you an alt account and just write what you want.
Oh
Right. They don't there's a time and place for everything, and doing that on your job is not the place.
Wow. Homegirl was eating ramen noodles. She went from being a judge to eating ramen noodles out the vending machine. And that's so fucked up. She was the funniest one to me.
Not
She
the
really
vending
was.
machine.
You know they eat goddamn
Janedowdell,
ramen noodles. Yes, ma'am.
when you said when they head off to college and they, get the schooling and they go off to be awesome, that's when it starts. See, when they're young, or especially if they're young and they're going off to college, as soon as they start to see the seeds of growth. What Blackistan does, and one thing that I don't like is you have the parents or the people around them that influence them to become social justice warriors, or they don't tell them anything different. Like, oh no, you don't have to do that. Why don't you just focus on this? They just allow them to do this, knowing the outcome. So they get them when they're young, when they're impressionable, and before you know it, they're full time mammying for Blackistan. I think about the other
And plus, they're
the
dangerous
NBA.
too. They're dangerous too. Like professional mammies are dangerous too.
Notice when they get those jobs though, y'all, they don't do anything for each other. They don't do
No,
anything for other black women. It's
no, they tear them
always
down.
yes.
Competition.
And
There
Mm-hmm.
is
plus,
no
like, even
sisterhood.
if they're doing it, like I want to talk about how they're dangerous because like there could be like a mammy who's a judge and like gives out like doesn't give the right sentences to a dusty and he might go walk out free in a neighborhood that there's little black girls out there, so like they're dangerous too. So please be careful if you're
Yeah,
friends with
they are. They're
mammies.
dangerous as fuck, no doubt. Real dangerous. They're just what did I call them? Tyrones with coochies. That's really all they are. Girl.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
used to work with
go
a
ahead. I'm
mammy.
sorry.
I used to work with a mammy. She was the fucking worst. Like in the military, there aren't a lot of, well, in the Air Force, there aren't really a lot of black women. So the ones that are there, not all of them, but a majority, the ones that are there, like when the guy who pressed his neck against the other guy's knee, he died.
I love it.
Everybody was just like, how can you be okay with this? Like, how are you not upset? I'm like, I don't give a fuck about him. Like, you want me to cry? Like, I don't give a fuck. They're like, you don't see your brother? No, I don't.
I saw my sister when he put that gun up to that pregnant woman's stomach. Want to talk
Right,
about
exactly.
that? Don't make no damn
Exactly.
Think
sense.
about the
That's not my son. That's not my kind. Like that's not
My son. What about my
my
son?
son.
Take my son. Girl, shut the fuck.
That's
Fuck
my
your
son.
son. Your son is an animal, baby. So really
those are
fuck
the
him without lube.
those are the kind of mammies that tell on you, or if you come there for an interview, they give you a super hard time, especially if they know you're not, down for the cause or you're not willing to sacrifice yourself. They give you the hardest time of all.
Kayana, a surgeon, slept with Derek Jackson. Please tell me that you're being funny.
No, she did.
Oh,
She got pregnant.
Lord.
Got pregnant by him.
Uh,
I don't know if she
see,
still has it. She's a fucking idiot.
y'all fixing to end this live at 25 minutes. I can't. I can't do this. I can't do it, y'all. But
Yeah. And plus, like,
damn, he
mammies
slept
are
with a
literally
surgeon.
on second. Like, I'm literally like, this is why I say mammies are worse than dusties because mammies enable dusties' behavior.
So
Mammies
true.
literally, like, they enable them. So that's why I cannot fully, like, I do blame dusties, but not as much because mammies still enable them, even though they,
And
like,
expect you to
literally
go along
just
with
molested
it.
your daughter. Oh, sorry if I couldn't say that word. I'm sorry.
Child, I'm
What
so
did,
fucking
what did she say?
vulgar. I don't know. I'm so vulgar. It probably just went right over my head. What did you say?
I said molested their daughter, your daughter.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. She didn't say molested. She said molested. So Google, don't fuck with me. Go
Okay.
fuck with the mammies.
Right.
Simone 56 is in the building and she gave a generous donation. Hey, Simone. Great topic. Keep up the banner for the divestment. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, girl.
I just can't stand them. Like, I don't know who I dislike. No, I definitely dislike the apes more, but the mammies are at the like right behind them.
So
Like,
check it out. Check it out. Let's do this. If, say for instance, you went to the grocery store and this brand of peas. Every time you turn around, there's a recall because of E. coli, because of this, that, and the third. You're going to stop looking at the peas eventually and start looking at what farm they came from. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
The reason I'm so hard on mammies is because they are the ones that lay back and shit these animals out, and I can't stand it. And then they want to play
can't give birth to them. They have to
shit them out. They can't come. I believe justies come from the back and not from the front. They can't be vaginally
They
birthed.
look like they come from the back, and they smell like it too. I fucking hate them.
And plus, mammies really get on my nerve because you experience misogyny from this damn community, this quote unquote community. You experience misogyny, you experience colorism, but you still defend them. They're not babies.
Mammies are so male identified. I'm just like, bitch, how are you gonna fight the man and fight the system? But you're like, you act just like a man. Like, you always try to fight these women, or you're always trying to compete with these women. How about ask them for advice or some shit? Like, stop being a fucking bitch.
And then they be the main one that says, oh, if they're talking to a divestment woman, all of a sudden you have toxic femininity. Like, what is toxic femininity? Like,
they are toxic.
I think
feminine.
they're toxic.
They know feminine when they see it because they're feminine as fuck.
Exactly.
Thank you, Yoli B. Thank you, DZ. Great topic. As a professional woman, I have seen this phenomenon for myself. I bet you have. I appreciate you.
They're big in the healthcare. Oh my God. Like, they're every fucking where.
Don't get me started on healthcare.
Trust me, I know. I understand.
Thank you. Oh, he doesn't have insurance. Okay, well, if he doesn't have insurance, listen, stop recommending him for all this extra shit. Just give him enough so that he can be well and get him the hell out of here. All the rest of us have to pay for that at the end of the year. I didn't know if y'all knew that. Y'all, when they put them on Medicaid, we end up paying for Tyrone's bullshit, his appendicitis because he drank too much goddamn Anheuser-Busch and Hennessy and shit. We pay for that.
Yeah, that's taxpayer money that funds that.
I just want them.
Thank you, Pretty G. I'm so glad I'm looking at the wrong screen. Are going to town. Yes, they are knocking them asses out. They're rioting right now.
As they should.
They're rioting right now. And it's 10 miles away from where George Floyd pressed his neck against that guy.
GF. I don't want you to get demonetized. GF.
Yeah. I don't know who the other GF is. Yeah, but that GF.
Yeah. Well, did you know that the guy that just got shot, his mother is white?
Oh,
yeah, the Dante guy in Minneapolis.
His mom is white. So they're now trying to figure out should they go and fight for him because his mom is white. And so now they're having a big issue about
they claim everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. They just have to have curly hair and light eyes. All of a sudden, they're black.
All of a sudden, they're black. They don't even look fucking black.
Right. So I was saying, I'm like, well, oh yeah, he's a very light-skinned guy. You know, I think he had like a goatee a little bit, like unshaved, and he wasn't really hitting on nothing at all. God dog.
Okay, I'm looking here and it said he had a warrant. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
He had a warrant
over his tag, and then they ran his name and they found he had warrants. That's what led to him being arrested.
Right, because he didn't go to his parole officer.
He had a parole officer?
Yeah, and he's supposed to.
He was only like 20, already on that trouble.
Right, he's supposed to report into his parole officer, and he has not been doing that. So that's why he was flagged as being arrested. That's why he did it. And they're over there fighting and cussing the police officers out. It's crazy. I'm like, I ain't going over there for that bullshit. No.
What drives me crazy is they always riot for these fucking criminals. Like, How about
That's
you
the
guys
thing.
riot for the people who are actually innocent and not?
I'm not rioting for any of them. I don't care if they're
Cosmetic
innocent or not.
I want them to burst into flames, like
Yeah.
Yes,
just incinerate. Like,
oh, yeah. My bad. You could go. My bad. I didn't mean.
Yeah, and I think we better be prepared for another thing. I just got an email from Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
They're supposed to be doing a virtual a town meeting for Black women, and they're supposed to be kind of like they really want to know what all the needs of Black women, and so it's supposed to be tonight at 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna write down the information, and then when you go up on live again, I will give you guys the information because they really are really into wanting to give the information to Black women.
Yep,
I'm
it's gonna
so
be
happy
full of
for you. I
mammies.
hope it
I'm
turns out
sure it's
good.
gonna be full of mammies.
I hope you.
Yeah,
For the best. I hope for the best for you. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm happy you did it. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I will be getting the information because it's supposed to be like it's like a listening tour, and I mean, these are all the partners and everybody that's involved in this investment. And when they sent it to us, the information, they really wanted to know like what are we are facing as Black women, and so forth and so on. And so, we supposed to get some more information later on tonight. So I'll be kind of informing you guys, later on
I
what they're
appreciate it.
talking about.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
in there and go on mute and listen to the mammies say that we need to get money because our men need jobs. Our men, I know
That's
what
just gonna ruin
that's
the
fixing to
whole
look like.
thing.
actually,
If they
you
wanted
know
money
what
to
I did?
go to them, they would give it to them.
You know what I did? Because they asked you, because you have to do a survey, and they asked you, is there any other things that you want to discuss to the Goldman Sachs and its partners? And I did mention that. I did mention that Black women are being ridiculed because of the opportunities that
I
they're
hope
giving
tonight,
us.
like the investment
If
will
y'all
be
aren't talking,
more.
put yourself on mute. If you're not talking, put yourself on mute so we can hear everybody.
Yeah. And so I did wrote that in the comment section and let them know because of the domestic violence and other issues, a lot of Black women may be intimidated to receive this stuff.
Do you see
Because of
this
that.
though? This is supposed to be a financial conversation with Goldman Sachs, and they getting ready to bring all their emotional baggage in there. That's for them to start businesses. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Right. And so that's what, and so when they was asking those questions, and I told them, I said, well, they probably getting a lot of ridicule because of, what these dogs are doing. So that's probably why they were sending all this information to Goldman Sachs. And I truly believe that Goldman Sachs should know that so they can be aware, just in case these mammies trying to get this stuff to their men.
They're gonna do it. It's not if, it's when, because that's what Black women do. Because the majority of Black women are mammies. They're going to try and chunk their dusty off. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, but you know what they're doing with it, right? I was talking to a friend of mine in Chicago. What the Black men wanted for is, remember they said if they want to build up their community, they're talking about building up in another country. They want to build it up in another country to go get another. Yeah, they're talking about Brazil.
Come on.
We call it the DR, Colombia. That's what they want the money for because they want to buy land in that country. So you know what that means? They want to be with the other group of women. So they want Black women to give them the money so they can go over to that
and they're
country.
Gonna get it. They're gonna get it. You see them not getting it? They're gonna get it.
Yeah, that Black male entitlement, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. And they're gonna look real stupid because of it.
Black men can't build anything. If I gave them a set of Legos and told them just stack them, they can't build shit. I can't even believe we pretended. Stack the Legos up in one layer.
Right.
You asking too much.
Mhm.
But what they
Right.
And
don't
plus
realize, when
about
you
like
build something like that, it has to be sustainable. It's not just this one-time investment. People have to be working. It either there needs to be some type of economic activity if you're going to maintain anything, whether it's a business or whether you're buying land or what have you. It's not just this one time, give me the money and all goes well.
Oh no,
I don't
actually,
understand why they would do that. I
well,
understand
actually,
why, but it doesn't make sense.
what it is that according to Goldman Sachs, they're saying they're putting investment in child care, healthcare. The survey said mental health, maternity, pregnancy, housing,
Oh no,
affordable
I'm talking about the
housing.
black men who want to buy this
Oh,
international land. They can't just get
oh
the money
yeah.
one time.
Right, right. So, but I mean, but they don't understand this stuff is going to be involving with organization that are going to help the women. So they're not going to probably get anything because a lot of it's not even going to come like with a check. It may come in through like funding for like they said education. So whatever kind of
Training
education that they're looking
programs.
for, yeah, programs and stuff to give it to the people so they can have access to. So I don't really truly think all of this is going to come as from a check. And I think that's what black men is thinking is going to be a check. You
Fuck
know.
what they think. They need to stay out of black women's business.
They
You
think
get
it's
what I'm
gonna
saying?
be
facts.
they think it's gonna be
Facts.
like the PPE loans again.
It's funny
PPE.
how they
I
trust the
think it is.
government all of a sudden, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I thought the white man was the enemy, and
the
we're
white
not women.
statistics.
Right,
The
we're
white
not
man
their women.
statistics.
We're not their women. We not their women. We're the enemy. And so now all of a sudden the money comes along. Now that oh, they will talk. Do you guys know about the Clubhouse? Have you heard the app called the Clubhouse app?
Yeah, we heard it's ratchet now and it's
Oh
fucked up.
yeah,
It used to be
Yeah, I heard
classy,
it's
but
totally
now it's
ghetto
ratchet.
now.
yeah. Well, I was on there, and it was this woman. She was in a divestment section. And so she was talking about, and I mean, it was like almost 300 black women were in there. And they was talking about divestment. And she really basically explained to them, listen, you already know how these dogs are, why you keep holding on to them, let them go. And I mean, all these women were talking about all the problems that they were facing with their black men and what's going on with them, how they're sick and tired of them and stuff like that. And come to find out, it was about 6 or 7 white men. They were sitting there listening. So she asked them, do they want to come up on the little platform? And so they was like, well, we was wondering about, we heard about the divestment, but we didn't really truly know fully what it's about. And she really explained to them how black men treat us, how the way we've been getting dogged out by the community. I mean, she really
They
laid it
already know.
really
That's the
out.
thing. Black women think that they don't see this shit. They see it. They doing it on
Right,
Yes, thank
Jacob's
you for
internet.
saying this. Thank you for saying this
They
because like
see it.
people act like they don't, but they actually do. They go on Twitter,
right,
they go on social media, they do
right.
see it.
Right. And so, but it was just the way, because one of the guys that was there, he was a neurologist from NYU. And so he was saying, I was wondering why black women were facing all these things that's going on. And so she was like, yeah, she said, this is the problems that we're facing. And that's why we're divesting. We're leaving and getting away from them because they're too toxic. And he said, well, I kind of figured that because he went into other rooms where the mammies and the cockroaches, they was bickering, arguing, cussing each other out. He was like, that shit was so toxic. I had to leave out of there.
I
So
feel
they
like Clubhouse is like the place where the formerly popular kids in high school are reliving their glory days.
yeah.
Um, I never been there, but every time I hear about it, the type of people who like praise it, I'm just like, yeah, you peaked in high school, and
From what I understand, there's a bunch of hoteps over there now. So that's a
Oh,
real no for me.
oh, yeah,
The black
yeah,
Israelites too.
yeah. It's really the black side is garbage. I mean, they be cussing, calling each other MFs, and I mean all kind of stuff. The guys be on there they be ready to fight. But on the white side, they're talking about investments, how to make
So
money. That's
basically,
where I go to.
it
I
reflects real life. It reflects
right.
real
It
life.
reflects the community.
I learned
Right.
something
So
about.
I'm over there.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Um, I was watching a video about what it's like to live in a third world country, and I feel like I'm off topic, but no, I'm not, because I realized this is why they call it Blackistan, because the things they were describing that being about living in a third world country where everybody's poor, it sounds just like growing up in a lower class Black culture in America. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's very toxic. It's anything positive is like ridiculed or worse. Everything dysfunctional is celebrated, and I just realized, like, wow, the whole Blackistan thing, like, that's not an exaggeration.
No,
That's
it's not.
legit. And yeah, divestment is seriously important. I came on because I wanted to talk about the most notorious mammy I know of. And I feel like
That's a hell of a crown. Who the hell is the most notorious?
my ex-boyfriend's mom. I talked about her before. That's the one who was like,
Okay, I
Oh, she's
remember.
the queen
yeah.
mammy.
She's talking about how she wanted to kiss him on the penis as a baby and how he had a
That
baby.
shit was disgusting.
Very
That is
disgusting.
disgusting.
This live stream, I've been waiting to like fit it into the conversation, so I kind of changed the topic. I'm sorry, but I remember she had a really good job. She was like the what do you call it? She's like sat at the front desk and like greeted people, and she was like at a practice for like therapy and stuff. And she was like one of the therapist assistants. She had like good health insurance, good life insurance, great job. And I ended up going to the practice for therapy. And while I was there, she ended up quitting. So after she quit, my therapist and I got more comfortable talking about her because my therapist knew her. They were coworkers for like over a decade. Turns out she had a real bad reputation for huffing and puffing about slavery and stuff because there weren't a lot of Black people working there. And I wonder if she left on her own or if she was kind of pushed out, because it really made no sense for her to leave. It was a good job. And I knew she would like huff and puff about racism and defend Nakers at home, but I thought she had the common sense to leave that shit at home. But my therapist was like,
Somebody that said they want to kiss their baby dick. No, they don't have common sense at
good point.
all.
That's a good point. My therapist was like, no, she like one time I witnessed it. One time, another Black coworker got something to eat, and so she asked her, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And they told her, and she was like, "Oh, you should have went to a Black-owned business. Why didn't you?" And she was like, she just turned into this whole thing, and everybody in the office was looking like, "What?"
Look at the hypocrisy, though. Why didn't she go to a Black-owned business to get a job? The weirdo shit needs to stop. Y'all need to shop at Black-owned businesses. Bitch, we work for the white man. What are you saying? They don't have any businesses that can hire you, so they don't deserve your money. That's just my opinion.
I feel like your channel, it's like scientific or some shit. You know how when you come up with a hypothesis, they're like, we got to be able to recreate the experiment and get the same results. Whenever you talk about Mammies, my mind always goes back to her. I'm like, I could call in and talk about her this episode. I could call in and talk about her this episode. And like, but this is the one where I'm like, no, I think she sacrificed a really good job for the very reason you did the live today. Like, she was muling in the workplace.
And nobody came with their capes flapping to get her. I don't know why Black women don't know what reciprocity is or don't expect it. If you're not going to do anything for me, I'm going to sit here, drink my Slurpee, and stare at you very sarcastically. Get the fuck out of here.
And she didn't have
about
any good
70 years of brainwashing of Black women not to
I feel
expect
like a
anything.
leper when I talk about divesting. Like, I was talking to my grandmother about it, and she proceeded to tell me about all the ain't shit niggas in her life and her mama's life and her sister's life and her best friend's life, all her cousin's life. And I sat there and I'm like, you literally just proved my point. Like she's telling me about how one of her cousins had to call the police so she could move out of her abusive man's house and stuff. And she just gave me example after example. And my grandmother's in her 70s. And I'm just like, yeah, that's why it's slim pickings when it comes to getting a good black man in the black community. And you proved me right.
Oh,
But
what
it's
is
like they don't hear
that?
themselves.
What is that? I keep
Question,
hearing about
but
this
when
good
you were
black
coming
man. I
up,
don't know what it is.
but when you were
I
growing up,
have
did your
no
grandmother
idea.
ever explicitly explain that to you? Because I feel like we always have these conversations when we're adults and when we've already made mistakes, or when, you know, we finally come to this realization. That's when our elders want to talk to us.
Yeah, because I was telling my grandmother, I was like, there's some red flags with my boyfriend and his mom. And at first she was defending everything his mom did. But when I got to the whole, she keeps talking about his dick part, then she was like, okay, she need help. She was like, well, she was molested growing up. So and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. That's weird. And at that point she was like, well, you could build a man. And I was like, maybe that worked for you in your generation. By the way, it didn't. And I just, yeah, I feel like a leper. I can't talk about this shit with my friends or my family. I gotta keep it on YouTube
It
because
will embarrass the shit out of the so-called community. So we would literally be the only community that is led by the women, okay, that are the main supporters and breadwinners. There are also the fighter in the army, also bearing the children, expected to make plates, give up sex whenever. This would embarrass them. So they're trying to counteract with, oh, black women ain't submissive. Bitch, of course not. Look at you. Look
submissive
at your
to
group.
what? Submissive to mama's boys, submissive to broke niggas, submissive to arrogant niggas with a little bit of money. Like,
any man worth submission has never had to ask for it. They've never had to ask for it. Not once.
Yeah,
Lady
but
and
it's hard for
Congo
them to
Nights, y'all are
understand.
still device not connected. I see y'all backstage, but it just says your device is not connected. I don't know what's going on with that. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. Now I was gonna say is that they don't understand, and they're not gonna comprehend about being submissive. It's only natural. I had a couple um male cousins, ask me that question. How is it that, because I'm married to a white man, well, how is it that black women are so submissive? And I said, it's not a rocket science, dude. Act with some sense and you will get submission. It's not that hard to understand. But I'm glad my mother taught me a long time ago about white men. She told me a long time ago when I was 15. So I don't think my mother
Good for
wanted me
her.
to marry a black man. Yeah, I was 15. She said, white men really like black women.
Sure do.
I said, what? She was like, yeah. And so she told me like how all these white men used to come up on her and my aunties, but they were married to my dad now. And she said, boy, if I had another chance, maybe y'all, maybe be biracial or something. But she told
Y'all
me, she said,
don't
I
end
will
up
not.
like that, y'all. Divest
Yeah,
now. Don't be like that. 60 years
yeah,
old, wishing you could have, should have, would
yeah.
have.
Oh
um,
yeah.
my ex, me talking about the ex with the crazy mom again. Her sister divested, but she didn't learn shit. Like she got a man child who was white,
Oh
and like
Lord, that's even worse. A
she had
powder donut dusty. I
yeah
can't.
2 years ago
The
she had
fuck?
blood clot and she almost died. And he did not come visit her in the hospital. They have not been living together in a while. And even I was getting to know her daughter, and I was like, so they don't live together? And she was telling me at first they did, but it just wasn't working out. And then she said that her mom was trying to have her like do his laundry. And that's when she put her foot down, like, no, I'm not washing that nigga's drawers. Like, that's your man. He's an adult. He should be washing his own clothes, quite frankly. He don't work. And even and at the time her daughter was like 14, telling her that. Like, you married a white man, he ain't shit. And I don't
If
want to
you
be
are into
affiliated with y'all.
dusties, right, and raggedy ass dusties that don't work and don't do this or whatever, then you divest and then you go get the same powdered donut dusty. I think you might be attracted to that type of shit.
Yeah.
How in the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
To me, that's not even divesting. You didn't divest from anything. To me,
Right.
that
That's
you
swerving.
you're divesting from that type. Divest from the type, not just the color of the man.
Right. God damn. I wish I would sit around a white man that wasn't working. He'll be working by the
Right.
time I go, what the fuck? No.
But so many other Black women are so simple-minded. Because one time, I was hanging out. My ex-boy, he had a lot of cousins. So one time, his cousins was like, "Oh yeah, your aunt, she like married to a white man." Because I be seeing him at the bank, and it was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Go on, girl." And I was thinking, "What you You don't know shit about her. You just know that he's white, and you congratulating her. Like, okay, you don't know that all the money she taking out is hers because he don't work. Like, they don't think very deeply."
Welcome to the show, Tammy J and Chanel Towns. I see
Hello.
you sitting in the peanut gallery. What's up?
I just wanted to
I'm good.
say, oh, sorry.
Oh no, you
In
good. You got it.
response to, because my YouTube was acting crazy, so I wanted to hop on and just say, when we were saying about the good Black men, I was going to say no. I don't know if I heard this on your live or Lexus Exodus. I don't know who I heard it on,
She was up
but
here a minute ago. I don't know what happened. Go ahead.
I remember somebody saying you never hear Spanish women or white women or Asian women say, "I gotta find me a good Asian man. I gotta find me a good white man." But we have to say we gotta find a good Black man. No one says that
They
in any
don't
other
exist.
culture.
That's
Good
so
luck.
crazy.
I hope you find one.
They
Right.
don't exist. I'm looking
That's
for
not
a
real.
Because that's how
I'm looking for a
It's
terrible
pink
just
they
so
polka
are.
dot
it's
dinosaur.
that terminology though of finding a good and then the race of the man. But it's like no one says that. People just say, I'm gonna find me a good man. But in our culture, we say good Black man. To me, that just shows the problem.
Yeah, it lets you know that they a good Black man, quote unquote. That didn't fall out my mouth, right? I don't like saying that because they don't exist.
Because
But
collectively they're terrible.
that's letting you know that that's the exception and not the fucking rule.
That's
Period.
all I want to. That's all I want to say, though. You guys have a good day. I'll be
You too.
listening.
You too.
At this
Hey,
point,
Chanel Towns.
I think it's the rule.
I had jumped in when I don't remember her name, but she was talking about the Goldman Sachs thing, and I feel like it is so important that that thing has oversight because I can already see we've already seen that these men are plotting on that money, and if they don't have like tight oversight, these women will gladly hand over those checks to those men. So
Oh yeah. Did you not see what happened with those damn stimulus checks? It's been a month. It running low. It's
they
I
running
was
low.
I was saying
Right.
I was like
Everybody got quiet.
I think the
season
Dusties
is over,
think
so
the
these people are going
Goldman
back to their
Sachs
mom's
thing.
houses.
They think the Goldman Sachs thing is going to be like the pandemic loans because my cousin and her Dusty baby daddy, that's what they're paying all their bills right now with pandemic loans for businesses, and they don't have a business.
Oh
And you
Lord.
see that they're cracking down on all those people, and all of them are going to jail.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna say that that's the white patriarchy, the institutional
right.
racism that they ended up in jail.
It's never their
Child.
fault. If anybody goes to jail for slapping the shit out of you, know that your cheek was calling them. And it's your fault that you got slapped because you weren't quick enough to move. That's how they talk. That's how they operate, at least.
Ugh.
Even with these latest police killings, I don't know, something about being divested. I just see it differently now because like I'm listening to the story and I'm like, okay, maybe this one is like really egregious or something. And then they're like, the boy had warrants. Now, the reason he was pulled over, that was BS. It was something about air fresheners on the back window. I don't know. But I'm like,
What?
he had warrants. Yeah, they said that's why he was pulled over. And like I do believe Black people are pulled over for bullshit all the time. But once you pulled over and you give the police a reason to arrest you, like you got warrants, I mean, I don't know why I'm supposed to have sympathy for you. And then he freaked out and didn't want to. He did elude police, and it was crazy that the lady reached for a taser but grabbed a gun. Like, okay, that's incompetent. But I'm still just like, yeah, I have not come across a case where it's like 100% that Black man did nothing wrong. I'm not saying he deserved to die, but I don't even need to say that.
Let me ask you this
I'm
real
in a
quick.
divested space. I don't need to. Y'all know I'm not saying that, but
I was going to ask you a question real quick.
okay.
So when Dusties get pulled over for, I guess, frivolous reasons, because it happens. If you have an asshole cop, you have an asshole cop.
Yeah.
When they pull over an Asian man, why are they doing that? Everybody gets pulled over is my point. Everybody gets pulled over. From what I see on the streets, Dusties have too dark tint, loud ass music, and they just act an ass a lot of times, and it gets the cops' attention, and then it escalates, and then they marching. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, because
They
even my
don't
mom
follow basic instructions. They don't even want to show ID.
No.
They don't listen.
No.
Like my mom said that sometimes when her and my dad, because my dad is dark skinned, she's like they'll be driving around and they'll see a police officer pull up behind them, and they'll know he's running their plates, and they don't find nothing, so they leave him alone. And I'm just like,
Welcome to the show, Lexus Exodus. I'm sorry, babe.
No, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Divested.
Hey,
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. I've been listening and been trying to get on for the last half an hour. And I'm so happy that I finally was able to figure it out. I appreciate you.
Of course. I appreciate you too, girl.
No. So I just wanted to chime in, child, because man, I really appreciate you like honing in on this topic and being so vocal about this bullshit. And all y'all in the chat, I'm so grateful for Divested's contributions to the divested community and all that you do, girl. Like, she was one of the content creators that shouted me out and showed love to me as being like a newer divested Black woman content creator. So
I don't know what's wrong with us, Lexus. I don't care where I go. If I put a comment in the comment section, I guess because my shit is so left and extreme that people, they just ignore my shit like I'm not even in there. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, but I'm so thankful for you. So anyway, I just wanted to give you your flowers, but I just wanted to talk about this topic. So I don't know, like I saw your highlight reel of all the Black women who you profiled who are muling and who have sacrificed their careers, their livelihoods for these makers. And I just wanted to say that I recently did a video on biracial Becky on my show. And I had a mixed girl come into my commentary, and she said how biracial women, they will overcompensate and they feel like they have to go hard to the extreme, and they feel like they have to overcompensate and have to really just be like so loyal and so Black male identified just to overcompensate for the insecurities that they feel as, you know, being biracial. And I noticed I want to say like maybe 70% of the women that you presented, they look like biracial or very racially ambiguous women. So that was weird to me. But the other thing I wanted to say is that, I don't know, I just thought that, you know, it doesn't surprise me that these women are risking their careers and their lives for these men. Do you remember way back when, and I'm older, y'all, so y'all might not remember, but do y'all remember when Oprah highlighted 400 Black men that she foot the bill for them to go to medical school? And she just did this whole daggone special where she profiled these men. They came out in their cap and gowns, where she's like, this is what I'm doing for the Black community. No women. She profiled herself, indicating that she had supported them and foot the bill for them to enter into medical school and to become medical graduates. So, and then like my other thing is that, do y'all remember Robert Hill? And who he supported?
Who's that? Who was Robert Hill?
Yeah, the man who paid full tuitions for all the Black men.
The Morehouse Dusties?
Exactly.
Okay.
There was no, he didn't help or support any black woman at all. So here is my thing. I just don't understand, like, I don't know. I don't understand how it's so lopsided and how it's just such a, like one of the other callers said, it's so there's such a discrepancy, and Black women will have this and demonstrate this undying loyalty, but won't expect anything in return. And it really is unfortunate. And at the same time, and in the same token, these men will get upset when Goldman Sachs actually steps up to the plate and says, all right, I'm going to take care of these women that you guys have abandoned.
Here's a part of that too, Lexus. Those same Black women, if they do something for you, they expect it in return damn near immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that works? It's just, it's muling without a cause. So,
do you guys think the Mammies will take their social justice worrying to Goldman Sachs and like
Yes.
Goldman Sachs, I think they're talking to a Black woman who's ready to like start a business or something like that, and then the Mammy is like, when she get her foot in the door, she's like, this is racist, and y'all shouldn't be just giving it to Black people.
You cannot carve out a space for Dusties in a white man's patriarchy. He's gonna have to carve out his own shit, and basically, he's not gonna have his own shit because they don't know how to carve anything out.
Well, another divestment channel, they were pointing out how the Black men got the right to vote before white women. So they were like, when you think about it, Black men were given a chance to be on top, and they foiled it. So
man, listen, they'll spoil a ham sandwich. They can't do shit right. Nothing.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Welcome.
I just wanted to make a small point and then I was gonna head out. When I saw the video of Durante White, my immediate response was, why did he resist arrest?
He had a warrant.
Why? I understand that, but I would just take the L, because I would feel like at this point in America, as a Black man, you should know if you resist arrest or have any involvement with the cops, you might as well just take the bucket.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay, well, if that's the case, Dusty's keep resisting arrest. But maybe resist arrest every chance you get, sir.
It's just illogical, and I'm surprised the Mammies haven't even like told their sons, "Hey, stop resisting arrest."
His mom was white, so maybe he thought he would have light skin privilege or something.
No,
girl, but you know they don't follow direction well. They don't know how to follow directions. That's why they're unemployed. That's why they're undereducated. That's why they're consistently failing, because they don't know how to follow simple directions.
He was almost in handcuffs. He was being arrested justly, and then he just freaked out. And I'm like, what? But you had
he got back into his car and was trying to drive away.
Yeah,
people keep like understating what happened, and the thing is, we can keep doing this. Police pull. I'm not gonna know these students. Sorry. So these excuses, like, they just are really starting to piss me off, because only one race of man has an entire culture dedicated to fuck the police, fuck. Well, me versus the police. I'll shoot a cop as soon as I have the chance. And it's that same. Is it a coincidence that that's the same race of man that's always caught up with the police? It can't be. This has been going on since the 80s. When are we going
is
to
she
see
going in and out for y'all, or is it just me?
Yeah, I can't hear.
You just said though, because I was thinking about this last night. I was like, no demographic of man has faced the amount of public humiliation has like Black men have on camera. Like, I would just think at this point they would be embarrassed. I would be, because let's think about it for a second. We're in a country with 330 million people, and you can get shot up on camera for the whole world to see, and
they have no shame. They have no shame.
What do you think about that half Black, half Hispanic guy who was maced? And at first I was looking at that and I'm like, oh man, they're fucking with a guy who fights for this country. He's like in his uniform. But then they say it took him about 2 minutes to pull over because he wanted to pull over into a well-lit gas station. And I'm like, I don't know if that was
the police. If you saw the video, even the police were like, still like the amount of time it took you to actually get there, you should have stopped already. And anything, you could have just put the high beams on.
Yeah.
But
I feel like they're self-destructive. Like,
yeah.
It's like let me get the people going. They're gonna assault a Black Hispanic man who's fighting for the country. Like, I kind of feel like that's what he wanted to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics behind this, especially like I think this is a dog pile on top of the Chauvin trial that's happening right now. And with all of the SJW people inciting, listen, if he doesn't get convicted, we're gonna riot. Like I think Sean King said that, and I was like, they weren't
overcompensating ass. Oh my god.
I
But
know.
who's gonna riot, y'all? Because y'all know they not gonna do shit. So, like you talked about how they should be embarrassed, but they not. Because when you look at the crowds of people that are actually protesting and who really makes up those crowds of people who are out there on the front lines and who are fighting for this, it ain't Black men. It is not. It is the majority. Yes, it's white college women, it is Black women, it's children, it's white men, but Black men are nowhere to be found. They over there
They
cowering in
sitting
the
down
corner.
being crusty as fuck. Welcome,
Yeah.
Simone 56. How are you, sweet baby?
Oh man, I'm so happy to be talking to you. Hey ladies. So happy to be talking to you. I feel like the girl in the candy store. Right. I'm
You're so
actually
silly.
working. Oh man, thank you. So you know what? I've been wanting this for a long time to say thank you. I love what you're doing, and I always have from your page and on. And the reason why I found you on Facebook was not on Facebook, but on YouTube is because you all of a sudden disappeared on Facebook. And I'm like, where did my girl go? So
The Mammies told Zaddy that I was a little too harsh. And the Mammies got me out here, but they had to tell Zaddy to do it. Ain't that something? I'm putting that
Oh my
page back up.
God.
You already know I got 2 more days in jail and I'm back in the business. Okay.
Hey, I missed your Facebook page.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Girl, they coming for your head already. You don't even know.
But you know what? That's what they will do. And you know, this topic is just so near and dear to my heart. Let me tell you, girls, the professional mammy, because I work in a Fortune 500 company among one of the top 4 professional services firms in the world, right? So I am among Mammy Central. You just would not believe it. Anytime that I am, and even online, because we're doing everything virtually, we're online. Oh well, you know, it's a double-edged sword for me because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm all for Black women, specifically advocating for other Black women in this space. The mammy part comes in where all they talk about is social justice and talk about this, that, and the third, and it's never about our advancement as Black women. It's always about lifting that nigger up and doing what the nigger wants to do. So it really pisses me off. But there's another side to being a mammy in the workplace. I just want to bring forth, and all of this is good because let me tell you, you gotta watch out for them, and I will let them drop where they stand. You gotta see that show Insecure, that thing where Molly had that new lawyer come on, that and she was being overly mammy, and her mannerisms were crazy, and she was trying to sit that girl down and tell her, look, this is not gonna cut this in the office, and the mammy went off on her.
Yeah,
And
I remember that. I quit watching it, but I remember that.
man, so there is really, you know what? My advice is to steer clear, and you know what? Play a little game. Play the game with them, as it helps you as Black women. Because for me, I ain't got I got nothing for a single. I got nothing for a single nigger. Not a single one. When I'm working or dealing, I have nothing for them. I have nothing. But okay, is that report due? Okay, thanks very much. Bye. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, you can't hold conversations with them. It'll turn into some bullshit.
Right.
And you know what?
Understand.
They turn into this bro sis thing. Oh, hey sis. I'm like, look, I'm not your sis. I'm not your bro or whatever. I'm here to work. I am not here for no, it will not be nepotism where I am.
No.
So not at all.
Their favorite word, hey queen. Like, don't talk to me, sir. Please don't talk to me. Go away.
And this,
Right.
I have a perspective because, like, I feel like with the way you look, it seriously impacts how people treat you. I'm very pale, racially ambiguous, and the amount of hypocrisy I see in Black men, I just feel like I don't buy into all the I want a Black queen and all this shit, because they treat us better. Like, once they get us, they still treat us like shit.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Right.
they'll still turn us into a baby mama and all that shit. But to get us to that point, like they want light-skinned kids so bad. And like the cousin in her Dusty who been paying their shit with pandemic loans that I was just talking about, she had a baby recently and he literally said, I don't want the baby to be dark skinned. And I'm like, nigga, you dark skinned. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about?
Baby, they want light skinned daughters, but they want dark skinned boys
Right.
that look like
Yeah,
them.
That is
it's a
so
girl.
true.
It's so sick because it's
He
like they
said, I want
want
all
their
my
kids
girls
to look
be-
exactly how the women they
Right.
fetishize.
Yeah,
So
he said he want all his daughters to be light skinned. He got sons
mhm.
too, but he just want the girls to stay light. And I'm like,
Yep.
you got with a bitch, she kind of light, but her daddy dark, you dark. What the fuck you think your kids gonna look like? Like, not only are you colorist, but you dumb.
Does
Yeah.
Oh,
anyone
but
else
hello,
find
ladies.
it?
Can you hear me? This is Congo Night.
Hey,
Hi.
Congo.
Oh, hey, listen, I want to say I completely agree with you guys about their daughters being light, but they actually get that from their mothers. I know several women who want they're okay with their sons being dark, but their daughters better be light skinned.
Yeah,
And it's really crazy that our Black women feel like this.
because they don't like themselves. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, I don't care if they don't like themselves. It's annoying to deal with them. All they do is bitch and moan about color all fucking day. What about character? Because fuck
Right.
your for a second. Your color's only gonna get you so far. It's about merit.
They keep up with this aesthetic bullshit so that we don't talk about money and resources, and that's what's up. We're the
Yep.
money and resources, then you can pick the color broad you want. You're not going to sit here with your ashy ass food stamp card telling people what your preferences
Listen.
are. Bitch, if you don't sit down some damn
But
where.
you got all these bird brain light skinned Black women or bird brain biracial Black women. And they don't give a fuck. They simple minded too. They like, okay, some of our kids, they be thinking the kids gonna be light skinned too. And like they really don't realize you about to bring a child into the world who daddy and grandparents ain't gonna like them because they dark skinned. Like, are you
I add something to this?
serious?
Yeah, can I add something to this? Because I recently had this discussion on my personal page. Because I'm seriously tired of the light skin, dark skin fighting between Black women. And my thing is this: as a dark skinned Black woman, I will never dismiss real colorism and the things that I know that are real that have been perpetuated in our culture. What we need to do as dark skinned women for real is really get the source of this. And someone mentioned earlier that yes, there are a lot of women that do perpetuate colorism, and I'm not downplaying them to a degree. I think a lot of those women do that, and I'm not letting the real reactors off the hook. But I think a lot of them do it because they know that they themselves have suffered from colorism, and they don't want that to happen to their daughter. It's a protective thing.
Yeah, I remember.
I
Some of them do feel that way, but I also just feel like, I mean, then don't have kids. I don't know what to say. Because like I met a girl, I was 13, she was 18. She was like, oh my God, you so pretty because you light skin. I wish I was light like you. And I was like, she just said that shit out loud. Like, I just walked away because I'm like, there's no hope for her. There's no hope for her. If you have that much self-hate, you really think you'll be prettier because you lighter. You really think life would be easier because you lighter. I feel like you're weak-minded. Like, everybody's got some kind of obstacle, and if your obstacle is being dark skinned, like, figure it
Your
out.
obstacle is only when you're dark skin is if you're fucking with Black men, because they are the ones that perpetuate that shit. They are the common
Can I chime in there?
Thank you.
Black
Because
men keep this division among us, and as soon as we understand the basis of this, the more we're not going to give a damn, and the more we are going to understand what each has gone through. And it's so funny. I tell people, as a dark-skinned Black woman, I got more affirmation about my dark skin from the lighter-skinned women in my family. I find that a very interesting dynamic. So
it is interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think as dark-skinned women, we get a lot of compliments for being dark-skinned from non-Blacks as well. Have you ever experienced, like, I get a lot of those.
I noticed that my two best friends, when we graduated from high school and we started college, they were fucking only white guys, dating only white guys. And
I think that we are so traumatized with the PTSD that we experience in Blackistan that we carry some of that colorism and some of those issues over to when we're divested. And one thing I will say is I remember having a conversation with my husband, and he's white, and him saying, hey, I watched this, this special on BET, and it talked about about the difference between light-skinned women and dark-skinned women. What is that about? And he was just so confused because he, as a high-value Brad, he likes women. He doesn't differentiate between dark skin and light skin. So I really think we just have to be mindful when we divest. We need to leave all that baggage and all of that trauma. We need to leave that back there.
It makes more sense for black women to divest because so many black men don't like dark skinned women. Like when I was trying to figure out why my best friends were not dating black men, I realized it's because they don't get attention from them because they were dark skinned. They were fit, they were beautiful, they were smart, but niggas were not checking for them.
It's
Oh,
beyond
you
that.
good
They
for them, guys. You do get attention. It's just negative.
It's beyond that. They will pick on you because you're dark skinned. Like you can be the same skin complexion and they'll pick on you. But to put a pin in this, when you come into divestment, I think one of the first things you need to do is therapy. Because I think swirling should last. Because your mind kind of needs to be right to open up to other people because it's a new environment and like a new atmosphere.
Yeah, like one of the guys, he was racist. And I was like, oh, that sounds traumatizing. You fucked a racist guy. I do, yeah. I mean, I'm in therapy and I do think you should have a healthy mindset before you date anybody, like whatever no matter what their skin tone is. But I guess if she was in therapy, maybe she wouldn't have slept with him so soon. Maybe she kind of would have seen some red flags. Because she found out, she saw like his MySpace post and he was like complaining about black people playing loud music or something. And I'm just like, ooh, you should have knew that before you fucked him.
Is he racist or is he just observant?
If it's true, it ain't racism. If it's true, it ain't racism.
Forget my thought because I was like, well, is he thinking about black men the same way I'm thinking about them?
Right, because I hate them.
He wasn't like dogging black women. He was just dogging the black people on campus. Is that what you're saying? Like the people who were being problematic.
Okay,
maybe it's not racist then.
Because let's keep it real. I don't like other black people like that.
Me either.
So I don't mind now as long as he's not trying to degrade like how we look. We'll be fine. But
yeah, but you know, niggas do that too. Like when my mom went natural, my dad he still talks shit about her hair. He hate natural hair, and he a nigga.
But yeah, that's black men. Black men don't like blackness. That's why they natural hair. That's literally like if Mammies weren't Mammies, we all probably wouldn't exist right now. And that just is what it is because they've been swirling that long.
Interesting. Wow.
So let me ask y'all this: do y'all feel uncomfortable when a white man says something about black people that you know is true?
No.
Should he not say anything?
He should say everything.
Thank you. I feel the same.
If it's a serious relationship, definitely. Go ahead. Sorry. Like DZ, you have a Brad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have conversations like this? Like, did he even comment about the newest person, the newest BML martyr? Like, did I talk?
Yesterday when it came on the news, he asked me if I wanted spaghetti or burgers. He wasn't even concerned, and I wasn't either. As a matter of fact, we cut on a DVR because we watch a lot of Marvel shows. So,
okay, this is the thing I wanted to add, and then I was gonna hop off real quick. I can tell somebody else wants to come in. I thought it was interesting that he was biracial this time because now it lets me think that they just want him and his seed to go. When I say him, I mean the black man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
He was light skinned, but I didn't think he really looked like all that. I thought he was black until I saw his mom crying.
Well, he's a biracial man. Well, in this society, looking at that kid, he was viewed as black and grew up in Blackistan. That's all she wrote. That's all that's needed for the conditioning to happen. I'm like, and the mama's on the TV crying. Oh my God, man, he pulled up. I said, girl, did you see pictures of your son out here with guns and with friggin' with money and stuff? He thought he was about that life, and you know what? The cop pulled up and showed him exactly what it was. Yeah, sometimes the sympathy is just not there. It's just not there for me. And again, they're tearing up Minnesota again for
10 miles away from the last incident. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
so ridiculous. And I'm like, are you in my New York accent? Are you dumb? Like, I don't get or understand why this is happening again. I'm like, then I think to myself, yeah, you know exactly why. Because Black people are gullible and dumping up the fall for this stuff again. So here we
Yeah.
are.
And I think it's gonna snowball into some more stuff. It's gonna be a dangerous year again.
Yeah,
I'm
the
real.
weather is warming up, so you know how
How they
Blackistan gets when you can take your jacket off. Shit gets
Right.
violent and ridiculous.
Ape April.
I'm realizing I'm more cut out for divestment than I thought. Because when I was talking about divestment with my mom, she was like, I don't know, I can't be with a white man, because when all of this, police shootings and stuff happen, if he say one wrong thing, and I was just thinking, well, shit, I be saying one wrong thing, y'all be mad at me. Like,
Well, it's probably not the wrong thing. It's just
that's my point, because I feel
a
like
fact.
I feel like a leper. I gotta learn to shut the fuck up around my friends and
What
family.
do mammies want from a cop when your Dusty is bloviating at a cop and saying your puss ass ain't gonna do nothing? What do you want him to do exactly? Go there. I'll get you a chicken sandwich if you calm down. I mean, what do you want him to do? I can't. Go ahead,
It's
y'all.
so crazy. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing like a motherfucker. I can't even tell y'all. Because they don't
It
fuck
is.
like what
Yep.
apparently they were raiding that area again. Like I looked up on Twitter and there was plenty of like AutoZones, O'Reilly's, like a couple of businesses that got fucking robbed. And I was like, wow.
I don't know. I don't think they want them to do anything but sit there and just understand that Tyrone has a lot of issues. So everybody has to coddle him. And when he's not coddled, they have a problem. Truth be told, numerically, more white men get shot by cops than black guys. It just is what it is. But we're supposed to feel some type of way because why? Because he looks like us? Well, he doesn't like us, so fuck him.
Right. Oh my God. When
perspective. Like I don't understand why we need to keep, like I said this on the last lap. I don't know why we keep trying to say trash. The world treats him like trash. So
when Stephon Clark died, and I was with my ex, and me and his mammy mom was talking about it, we were going at it. We were yelling. Well, she was yelling. And she was like, no, we got to defend Black people. And I was like, let me tell you what he was saying about Black people. Okay, he tweeted that the only thing Black he wanted in his life was an Xbox. Like, he was just saying all this stuff about like not fucking with Black women. Women
He was
like
probably
you.
ugly as fuck anyway.
Women like you. And I'm like, he already had a felon. He already had a record. He probably was guilty of the shit. I'm not saying, once again, you always gotta give them the disclaimer. I'm not saying they deserve to die. However, when you run into the cops that often, it's bound to go bad one day. And when you saying you don't fuck with Black women while you living, I don't understand why all these Black women just be like protesting and getting emotional and fighting for them. I'm like, they didn't like you when they were here.
Hey, Divested. I just wanted to answer your question. You talked about how, how you interact with Brad when instances like this happen, like this recent thing. And I just wanted to say I used to be so brainwashed, even when I met my husband, and I used to be such a mammy and used to die on a hill for these fools. But then after a while, I just started to recollect how, my interactions and my experiences behind closed doors with these Tyrones. And I thought about how there's such a lack of home training and how there's no respect. There's no common sense. And I was done over the years. It didn't take me long. And so now when we have these conversations, when this stuff happens, I'll just say, okay, well, guess what? This nigger resisted arrest, or he, the one who had a counterfeit dollar bill, or the other dude who was in the Timberlands, who looked in a vacant home and he wasn't supposed to be, he trespassed. And guess what happens when you do things that are illegal? There are direct consequences and direct results that happen as a result of that. So those are the conversations that I have now.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Mark
ladies.
Aubrey.
Yeah, it's not
Ladies.
the white man's job to fix the black man or the black community. His patriarchy is already intact. He doesn't need to fix your community and everything else. And when the black women get into these interracial relationships, they are all about that. Oh well, how do you feel about this and how you feel about that? How the hell is he supposed to feel about it? This is not his experience or a
It
lived
isn't.
consequence. So
Y'all see this chart?
DC, you can't show facts. They're racist.
Well, let me be racist real quick.
We
Twice the amount of white men are killed / shot by the police every single year. Okay. Where is the riot for that? Because to be honest with you, if you look at the FBI stats, who's committing the most crime? Tyrone, but he's not shot as much as Chad is. So I don't know what else to say as far as they go with this bullshit, but they know that Tyrone is committing the most crimes. They just want him to be able to get away with it. Period. Point blank.
boom.
I have a
Hey,
question.
ladies. Real quick, I want to say something. Do y'all remember a couple of years ago, there was a little black girl that got slapped in the face by an adult white male? And I
Yes.
forgot what city she was in, but it was all over the news. And all of the black men were saying she was a little girl, like maybe 12. All the black men were saying, see what we put up with. Women don't know how to train their daughters. Got what she deserved. She should have got slapped in the face. And black girls need to learn their place. They had no sympathy for this little girl. And so that was the day I realized that I was never, ever going to have sympathy for a black man, because they were okay with this little girl getting slapped in the face by an adult male. They
Mhm.
completely cheered that man on. He was team um, abused black women. They loved it. They ate it up.
I saw
Tommy
one of those
Sotomayor,
videos.
yeah,
I saw
Tommy
it and they kept
Sotomayor,
replaying it. They kept
yeah,
replaying it over and over again.
Tommy Sotomayor even did a show, and he was saying, yeah, that's what these black girls get. They need to get put in their place. It was just complete evilness. That was the day I was like, I'm done. I will never, ever have sympathy
Girl,
for
you can
that.
get slapped in the face with a skateboard. You can get your eye almost bitten out, and they will not have any compassion. They
So I
won't
don't
have
know
any
why
compassion.
we're even doing this. Why are we saying should we? Hell no, we shouldn't. Let me read out these super chats real quick, y'all. Real quick, y'all. Solo girl, soul girl. Okay, soul girl. Mammies better stop hollering, defund the police, because the police is the only thing that saved their asses from getting beat by Tyrone, and that's a fact.
Especially if
And
they get the money. If they get that
yes,
Goldman Sachs investment, child.
Be careful.
see, these names look just alike to me. And then Sun Girl says,
In YouTube jail.
she is a clown.
She
More
is.
riot footage, DZ. Flambe, part 2, it's coming. I got you. I got you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, girls. I'm done.
All
I
right,
have a
DZ.
question.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for letting me on. I'll be in the chat. I appreciate it, guys.
We
Um,
appreciate
Pleasure,
you.
Lexus.
guys. It was a pleasure.
All
Lexus.
right.
Have a good night.
Love
I
you.
have
See
a
you later.
question.
Okay.
Left.
What do you guys think sets us apart from the non-black, not non-divested black women? Because I don't understand why every time this topic comes up, bitches get emotional and they be
Mammies.
irrational.
One is appearance. Some of them look ran down, so you can
That's
like.
true, but like even I just be looking at some of them like my mom, she was getting emotional, but then she was kind of coming around. But then when the topic came back up around my grandmother, then all of a sudden she reverted back completely. And like,
Can I say something? I think we have critical thinking skills. I think that
yeah,
the reason why we divested is because we're logical. We stop thinking with emotions and start thinking with our heads. And we just have once you have critical thinking skills, you'll see things the way they really are. And that's what helped me divest. I started really seeing life through, proper lenses. That's just how I see it.
mhm.
Hey, can I jump in?
Yes, ma'am. Speak up though, because you sound like a little baby.
Can you hear me better?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I just kind of wanted to answer that. I don't want to say I'm newly divested. I'm 28 and I used to date white guys in high school, but I kind of got scared. But
Why?
Traumatized. I'm not traumatized, but scarred from a particular white guy that I dated because he was a little racist. And like when we would argue and get in arguments and so forth on that, that would rear his ugly head. But it really was the type of white guy. I don't know if you guys know like that wigger, it just it's just like he was a low value kind of guy. So I kind of got scarred from dating white guys, and you try to, but I think a reason why a lot of black women are like afraid because you have to deal with your mammies, your family members, and so forth on like. They always tell you don't bring no white man home, just all this type of stuff, and then you get judged when you date white guys. It's like, oh, you couldn't get a black guy, or like it's like your relationship, even though it's better, it's not as highlighted. It's not as like, glorified in the black community because it's not that typical black love relationship. And like the black love relationship is just this struggle, drama, trauma, toxic thing that we do. And it's like, I don't want to be a part of that. So like, I started divesting again, and it's just been like bringing me so much more happiness. Because like I don't want to call myself like a high value woman, but I do make a little bit of money. So like I've been dating black men lately, and it's been like these
Oh shit.
horrible experiences with me.
Of course.
And it's just like, oh, I've been thinking it's been me this whole time. I'm traumatized this whole, just mentally distraught just because of all these guys that you're meeting, and they're saying, oh, I'm different, blah blah blah. And then like once I started to like open myself up to white men more, and like just like liking them more, it's just been like like it's more conversations. Like I can have more intellectual conversations versus someone getting mad because I know more. Like there was this dude that I was talking to, and I knew something more than him, and I'm not correcting you. I'm just having a conversation, and he's literally getting triggered, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's
There's
like,
not much you can do to not trigger. Oop! I almost said the hard R. There's not much you can do to not trigger them.
They're big
yeah,
babies.
they keep saying that they're different, and then when you try to open up and say, okay, well, let me stop being this way, because they keep calling you bitter, negative
They
Nancy, blah blah
literally
blah.
different.
And it's just like when you want to try to open up and say, well, let me see what you like, it's just immediately it's like low income jobs. Like you look at their profile, they say they work at such and such, you meet them, oh yeah, I was fired 2 weeks ago, and it's like, well, why is that still up there? you
What do
know
they
it
what are they meaning when they're saying they're different? I didn't know that's something they actually
so
proclaim to be.
this so my thing is like I don't date men with babies. I don't do all that extra stuff. So like when they try to approach women like me that like I guess you can say I like really differentiate myself. It's like they try to make it seem like they're different than the other black guys. So like, oh well, because I like to watch anime. I'm like a nerdy girl. So oh, I watch anime too, but the ones that you watch is like Dragon Ball Z. It's just like
Oh,
the low
that's not.
class stuff.
Oh my
Like you don't
gosh.
watch that. Like people who are mentally developed. I don't watch Dragon Ball Z. That's for like just little kids.
For 10-year-olds in 2000.
Exactly. And it's like it's like having a conversation. It's like they always try to like. It's like they're always competing with you and like trying to mentally match you, but it's like, sir, you're stupid. Like stop. So
Y'all gonna
that's
get enough
what
of
I've been
trying to
going.
make these men what they're not. They're
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
better
and
take
it's
them for what they are.
Can I add
yeah.
a sidebar?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to update with you guys about this. Okay, so according to AJ Plus, the officer who shot Jacob Blake 7 times is back on duty after not being charged with any wrongdoing.
Yes.
Great.
Returned from administrative leave on March 31st, the Kenosha Police Department says. The DA declined in January to file charges against him. Blake is paralyzed from the waist down. So I'm saying this to say that this could happen to Derek Chauvin. It could.
I'm hoping it does.
Me too.
I'm tired of the foolishness. I don't know how old each and every person is up here, but if you've been around the block, I've been watching this shit since Rodney King. I am so over all of them. Every last one of them is wash, rinse, repeat. There's not one brick that has been laid by them since Rodney King. It's just, please stop doing this to us, quote unquote. But they're not willing to not do crimes. They're not willing to stop having kids they can't afford. It's just, it's a clusterfuck. So leave it.
DZ,
leave it all together. Yes, ma'am.
is it true that during the Rodney King riots, there was also like the Koreans were shooting Black people because they were trying to rob them or something? Like
They
what
were
was that about?
shooting, trying to protect their businesses because when Blackistan start looting, they even loot Black businesses, y'all.
Yeah.
So if that's all you have, if that's your main income, and you come near my store, you might catch a 2-piece as well.
Right. The fuck?
Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hey, DZ, how y'all doing?
All right. How are you?
Good, good. I've been listening the whole time and everything. I want to chime back in, kind of go back on the colorism thing.
Okay.
I'm from a very popular city in the South, and some of us don't look like we all Black. So, as myself, I'm light skinned, red hair, and hazel eyes, living in the hood. And a lot of kids thought they could fight me and beat me up because they didn't know if I was white or other, right? But I guarantee you this, everybody I had a fight with crawled away with a well-whooped ass.
Good. That's hilarious.
Because, they like to pick on you because, my mama sent me to school. She knew I was pretty, but my mama never, pumped my head up to make me think that I was prettier than any other people. My mama said, I want to see them grades, and that's all we want about. You go to school to learn. You're not going to school to look cute, even though she dressed me in nice clothes. But I tell you, even the boys got their ass whooped too. Even the boys, because if you looked a certain way and the little boys like you and you didn't like them because you're trying to get your education and your books on and everything, they like to pick fights with you. I had a fight one day. I pushed his ass in the middle of the street because the bus used to run up and down our street. I pushed his ass in the middle of the street when I saw that bus coming.
I bet you got a lot of stories with that aesthetic because Black people are like anything that doesn't look like them. They want to either fuck it or they want to beat it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's so true because oh my God.
And look, last week I had an appointment with the VA because I'm a retired soldier. So I have to grab my little walker because I had some injuries I sustained. But anyway, taking care of me.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
I'm proud to serve. So I had it wasn't long that I had to be there, but they made us take a number. And when my number was called, that was a very nice Brad whose number was called ahead of me. But when he saw me on the walker, he was just so kind and nice. He told the nurse, he was like, well, she could go ahead of me. He held the door open for me and everything. So
if that was a nigga, he would have been like, I was here first, man. I don't know what y'all doing up in here. Y'all know how they are. Y'all please leave these animals alone. Please.
For real. Please. You ain't missing nothing. So after I was seen and everything, that kind Brad, he got up and opened the door, held the door open for me again. We exchanged, have a nice day. So after that, I went to this real nice spot for brunch because I love brunch. I like to go to places where you can dress up kind of nice. So I pulled back my car in because I had to get my walker out. But I was going in through the wrong entry because there's a patio outdoor where you can dine. And my car was like 6 feet from the patio entrance with the little iron gate. So it was a young Chad dining with his family. He saw me on the walker. He kindly opened up the door for me, but the hostess had came from the main entry and told me to come in through there. I was like, well, okay, fine. So the young man closed the door behind me. So I went in there, dined, ate good, paid for my food, got ready to leave. By this time, the family was gone. Had 3 apes sitting at the same spot. I'm coming out there on the walker. Damn shame. Them bastards was just all looking down at their phone. They didn't say hello. How you doing? You need help with your walker? None of that. Okay. So I got my walker in the trunk. I got in that car and they were seated not even 6 feet from me. And I found this song on my iTunes. Y'all know that rapper C Murder. He got that song called Fuck Them, You Know What? All right. I played that song so loud because the first party said fuck them. I was like, and I had my shit blasting out my Mercedes Benz too. Them fools looked up and they were looking at each other like, what the hell? And I sat there for 60 seconds. And that was my way of telling them bastards, fuck you. You can't even say hi or hello, but y'all talking about Black women don't respect the Black man and all this old stuff,
They only polite if they want to fuck you.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Let me shout out the super chat and then you got the floor. S Melanie 54 says, I am pro police. Me too, goddammit. We need them. Thanks for the real and rawness all day. And then we have Dolo Mission. Thank you so much. She says, grew up convinced I was snobby weirdo when I was mentally divested from them the entire time. Master Roaster DZ made it eloquently clear without yelling or clapping or talking. The hard R all day. Thank you,
All
babe.
day.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the thing about like how you look, like it's true. They only treat you okay if they want to fuck you, and then if you don't give them the time of day or you like turn them down, they will literally try to fight you. Like they're offended that you're not interested in them.
Yeah, it gets scary. Or even like I had this one guy at my job. He was a manager, only in name, not in practice. He was a total bitch. Every time he told somebody to do something, they'd be like, that don't make sense. He would go crying around the whole department like, they're not listening to me. He was such a bitch. And he wouldn't leave me alone. Like I could not do my job without him being in my vicinity talking to me. And I'm like, this nigga is flirting. I told him I got a boyfriend. He was light skinned, but he was also colorist. That was the first time I ran into that. Because he was like, yeah, I like some light skinned girls. And I'm thinking, why are you telling me that? And eventually I got fired. And I really think if I let him think he had the time of day with me, like if I let him think he had a chance with me, he would have like stood up and advocated for me. But because I was just trying to be professional and friendly, he just like, no, fuck that bitch.
Girl, you don't want them to be your advocate.
No, because eventually it's going to be what they can get from you.
Right.
Be an advocate for 5 minutes, you're going to spend 5 years paying it back.
Right. They ugly asses. Hate them. Sorry.
I have
You're right.
My brother is adopted. He's a Naker, an adopted Naker. I don't know what my mom was thinking or what my parents were thinking. And I kind of want some advice because I don't know how to go about having him in my life. He's creeping me out. He was
You
kicked
don't have
out.
to have him in your life. You don't have to find a way to fit him in there. Toss his ass. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
27. He's 25.
Oh, girl, throw that nigga in the ditch.
You don't have to be around him at all.
My mom coddled him and the family acted like, oh, you just hate him so much. And now that he's an adult, they're like, man, that nigga really is self-destructive. And he keep doing these things. Like one day he called me and he told me he needed a jump for his car and asked if I would come help him. And I was looking at the clock. Like, first of all, I wasn't considering it anyway, but I was looking at the clock and I'm like, by the time I get to you, I didn't.
Somebody doing cartwheels.
Not cartwheels.
I imagine going to help this grown man with his car when it's dark. I'm a petite female.
You went to help him?
No, I didn't. That's all. I couldn't imagine in the dark. And I told my mom about it, and I was assuming that he had already called her and my dad. And she was like, "No, he didn't call us." And even her, who defended him coddled him his whole life, was like, I don't know why he called you for that. And like last week, he texted me like, I need you to take me to go pick up a translator or something like that. Arborated for my car. So I don't know what he's talking about. But I'm just like, why does nigga keep contacting me? Like, it's like he's trying to lure me out somewhere. And I'm just.
So you think he wants to attack you? It could be.
Possibly.
Probably.
It could be. I would lean on a side of caution. Because he's not even quote unquote family like that. Well, and even if he was your real brother, you shouldn't be out there helping him with his car. Right. That's a big ass grown man.
He was when he was 6 months, and I'm 2 years older than him, so I don't remember life without him. We are his family, but he did recently find his biological family, and ever since my parents kicked him out, he just they invite him to functions and shit, but he's just so self-destructive. He always trying to get people to feel sorry for him, and it's just
I would just block his number, just block it and just
I don't understand why you keep answering for him. You still feeling obligated for some reason, and I don't know why.
Yeah, are you like new to divestment?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably why.
And you need an inbox. You need an inbox for real.
I did acknowledge I realized with my therapist that I'm naive. So I'm naive, but on the other hand, on the same token, my family's always telling me like I'm overreacting and stuff.
you follow your instincts, and I
Yeah.
just would recommend just follow your instincts. Anytime you get like a bad feeling, just block it and just move on.
Yeah,
Because
you don't
Yeah.
trust him for a reason. There's a reason
Yeah.
that you
Women
feel
have
that way.
intuition.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
damn,
I,
crazy. This nigga, is he really trying to kill me? It's like, why texting me and calling me over this weird shit?
and if
No.
anybody asks you why you blocked them, just be like, I didn't want to be another hashtag. I felt some type of way. I felt uncomfortable. I feared for my life. That's why.
Yeah,
And before you say that, let them know, even though it's not your business, since you asked,
it's
because you
not.
don't have to, deal with him.
That's
You
right.
just don't.
Right.
It's about time. Yeah, because I think he's always been jealous of me. Even my mom was like, I think you think you're better than him. I'm like, well, since you want to go there,
You probably are.
I am better than him. I'm not a thief. I'm not a liar. I'm not a bully. Yeah, I am better than him. You know, you don't be in court paying fees because I'm stealing from Kmart. So yeah, I am better than him. Like I
Girl,
can
he
go.
should even be in your circle. To hell with all of that shit.
Yeah. It just sucks like to have grown up and people are always acting like, ooh, you're so mean to him. And now that we're adults, I'm like, nah, I think even when we were kids, even neighbors were like, that nigga creeped me out. I feel like that nigga gonna kill somebody. Like even other neighbors was like, nah, something not right about him. And
I think a lot of black men are possessed.
I do too.
It's like I have two stepbrother niggas, and they are insane. Like I pretend like they don't even exist, to be real with you, because they can't
Shit,
stay
they
out of
don't
prison.
exist.
They always need something. The other one want to have sex with me. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and I pretend that they don't exist. Like one is in prison right now for beating up his baby mama. Am I calling him and sending him money? Hell no. Y'all can do that. I'm not doing
You
it.
don't have to. I wish people would stop doing that shit. You get locked up, you behind that wall by yourself. Bust that bussy open like you expect everybody else to do to get your oodles and noodles or whatever the hell y'all eat back there.
do y'all want to go to jail? Because like I told y'all how like I was carjacked a few years ago, and I just be thinking about like some of the reasons niggas be going to jail, and I'm like, I think they did it on purpose.
Because
Like,
they're fucking.
Oh my
Never
God, you
mind.
guys, I
Never
was
mind.
just having this conversation with my cousin, and I really think that jail is like they're protected. Like, you know how black women, how we have our spaces? I think jail is their space to let the demon out, like, so they can like have sex with each other. You know, they get HIV, they have little SD cards with CP on it, and you know, they're just sharing it with each other. So I really think that they're okay with always going to jail because it's like that's like their next step into like their niggerhood or some shit like that.
I
Like I
agree.
really
And look at
think
black women out here fighting so that they don't go to jail. They don't
Right.
even know
they
what these
want to go
Negroes
to
want.
jail. Like literally, like like you know, I remember being younger and in the mindset, just like hearing like other black guys, teenagers, like, oh, you haven't been to jail yet, you ain't real. Like they pressure each other to like go to jail, and then we all know what happens in jail. Like you know how they say, oh, it's not gay if it's jail. No, it's still
No, it's
gay.
fucking
No,
gay.
something is wrong with you if you keep going back. Like my stepbrother keeps going back. Why do you keep, and you get one break after another? They give you short sentences. They allow you to
yeah,
be on house arrest,
it's
and
kind
you keep
of
going back.
hard.
What is there?
It's kind of hard for them niggas to like
His boyfriend.
jail because
They're boyfriends, yes.
the nigga
Yeah,
who
they done got turned out. They didn't been turned out.
I
They
don't
need to
think
go
they got
home.
turned out. I just think they all of them are fucking gay. That's why they hate. That's why they hate us. Like, because they
That's
want
why
to
they
be
hate
us.
women.
They're
Yeah,
gay.
like one of
Like,
them, he got like 10 kids that he don't take care of, and he knows that if he don't start taking care of them, they're gonna keep taking them to jail on child support violations.
I
And you
listen.
just keep volunteering to go back to jail. Like you just love getting fucked that much.
they kind
I
of
got
got
a
to work to
cousin.
stay in jail because the guy who carjacked me, he used his real name before he did it. And I've mentioned this before. I put it in the police report thinking it was a fake name. It was not. It was his real name, and he still got away with it. And I'm like, he wanted to go to jail. Like,
There's that racist system again, huh?
They do.
Not
right?
putting the black men in jail for
Oh
shit
my!
they didn't
I
do.
was
the
so
white man.
confused. I was like thinking, oh boy, they're gonna throw the book at him. No,
Shit.
I
No.
have a cousin, and I think he's literally itching to go back to jail. Like he looks like he wants to do something to go back because it's like he's too afraid to be in the outside world to be held accountable to people. Because I personally think that he's a pedophile because he's always like really scared about what the family thinks about him, and like he's talking about he's gay and blah blah blah. And it's like, you know how many gay people we got in our family? Like nobody cares if you're gay. I really think he's done some stuff, and it's like he doesn't want to be held accountable. He just wants to go back to jail. And
They
like
don't have to pay bills. They don't have to
they
do any of
don't,
that shit in jail. They
Right.
get 3
exactly.
hots and a
They don't
cot.
have to like, cause, and also
One
they're
thing
so
I
afraid of women. They don't like to, cause women, we ask real questions like, where's your job? Where's this? All these opportunities that you have. And it's like 3 years later and you're still nowhere. So they hate their mothers. They hate their cousins. They hate everybody. That's why they're just degenerates. They just want to do crazy stuff just to go back to like, fuck their homeboys. That's
Yeah,
all.
we paying to keep them niggas alive. They using our money to feed them. The fuck.
And I haven't had a conversation, a literal conversation with a black man since before high top fades were in the first time. Okay. I'm talking about Kid and Play was playing on the radio. I'm
Oh
talking about
wow.
the Steve Harvey show was in rotation. So these new conversations, I can't get it. They done started eating ass. So I really can't talk to one. I just don't.
What?
Oh
Don't
yeah,
talk to no damn nigger for what?
Girl, I just look straight through them. Anytime they talk to me, I just stare like they're not even there. Like,
No, they want their ass eaten. It's the other way around.
yeah, they do.
These
They're
black
fucking
men want their
gay.
ass
They
eaten.
don't
It's
even wash
so
their
gross.
ass. Like, they
Who
don't. They
eating
say,
it? Who
hey,
eating it though?
Girl, man,
somebody is
people
eating
eating it.
it.
Picnic chicks all day, every day, like a sausage.
Oh no, it's
Somebody
black
eat.
women out there eating ass. They
They
openly
actually
Yes.
admit
used to
to it.
eat
Like a
Biggie's
black man
ass.
went viral for saying like a woman ate his ass and he enjoyed it so much. Now that's like the standard for him. Yes, black women are out here eating ass.
Faith
Yes.
No,
said,
listen,
did
y'all.
y'all
My
ever
friend
see
was
Faith said
like,
she did that to
They are
Biggie
trying
in the
to compete
90s?
with
no,
the
my friend was
boys.
like, if she don't eat his ass, somebody else will. I said, you really want a man like that? She
What?
said, yeah. She said, if I don't do it, another chick will. Well, one woman won't do, another one will. I said,
They
you
don't
really
even
want
like
a
to wipe
man
their
that want
ass.
to be on all fours and getting his ass eaten out? I was like, that's not even a man. That's a pussy. That's what you want.
Y'all see this banner? Look at the pathetic way of thinking. At least I know where he is every night. I can't. She called it prison talk. And black women on TikTok flexing that even though their man is in prison, they know where he is every night. If you want to
But do you
talk
know
about
who's in
bottom
him
of the
every night?
He
barrel,
getting fucked. He's getting
right?
fucked in his ass every night. That's what he's doing.
The pathetic. We could sit here all day and talk about how the mindset is just boggling. At least I know where he is every night. Bitch.
That's so disturbing. That's just insane. You need that just to have a fourth of a human being. That's not even worth it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a like girl,
I
it's a
think
whole
black
bunch of
women
women. You
are
can
really
literally hand pick your prisoner. You can go online, hand pick your prisoner, and write them.
Oh yeah, they do have
This is the
those
real
dating
thing
sites.
that women
That's
are doing.
real.
Yes, like people are
Okay.
getting married to them.
Okay.
Yes,
White women
marrying them
are
while they're
married.
still in prison, all of that.
Okay. So I'm getting ready to act real ignorant behind that wall. I
Girl.
got y'all. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, I thought you knew about it. I know about all of this. Yes, you can go online and hand pick your prisoner. If you like the way that he looked, you can write him. Y'all can spark up a romance.
He's
You can
in
marry
jail.
him and
Like, what
have
the fuck are
conjugal
you gonna do?
visits.
So
Ew.
they literally digging through the trash to find a man. I can They
Risking
have
their
reached an
sexual health.
all-time low. That's an all-time low right there. Damn, you probably
And
be
they
better picking up a
still,
homeless man.
the
Right.
niggas still not gonna treat them good. That's the craziest part. It's not even, there's literally no benefit to digging in the bottom of the barrel for a man.
There's no benefit for having a free one. There's no
Right. They're all bottom
what
of
they
the
gonna
barrel.
do.
I think black
Mm.
women are just, I think, yeah, I really think black women are really naive to like the nature of men because a lot of us didn't really have like a father figure or like really strong male figures in our life to tell us about like the real nature of men and how it's like they really think with their penis first. So like you think that this man is in jail and you know where he's at and he's just like that he's more than likely, you know, messing with the most flamboyant man there. So it's like
I think
I
I'm gonna
think
give them like 2, maybe 3 more years worth of the gift of ignorance because every time I see one of these mammies, their face is on their social media, so they see the nature of men. So they only going to be given the gift of ignorance for a little while longer. Then after that, they're volunteers at this point. Because how can you miss how fucked up they are?
Yeah, like, and I admit to being naive. I admit I used to be naive too. I let them walk all over me and everything like that. And when I was straddling the fence and listening to divested content, I started to put a little bit of the advice to my life, like, learning how to put yourself first and be a little selfless and stop, letting them use you up and mule yourself out. And one of my ex-niggers actually came out and told me he hated me for it.
Wow.
He said that was a divestment wake-up call for me. He was like, listen, I've seen you change and I don't like this at all. He said, I miss how you used to be. And I used to be this insanely like people-pleasing type of person. And I applied it to Black men like you wouldn't believe.
Now he knows he doesn't have a chance. That's why he's upset.
And that was a real wake-up call for me.
That's a literal demon.
I had several divestment wake-up calls, but that was one that I will never forget.
That is demonic.
Me, y'all. I think I have a mammy in the waiting room.
Yo, okay. So I think she corrected herself.
Okay. All right. Because I see something that says, what would be the future of Black women if we get rid of Black men?
Did she put to get rid of all Black men? I think that's what she meant.
I feel like people, why do you assume that I'm interested in like continuing my race? I'm just trying to live my best life. So if 100 years Black people are gone, I really don't care.
Cameron, go ahead and clarify what's going on, babe, because I don't want to call nobody a mammy. I just want to listen to what you got to say.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's something's going on in the background, but we can hear you really good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted clarity. I mean, whoever spoke just now kind of summed it up. She said she doesn't really care about the future of the Black race. So
yeah,
I mean, that kind of answers my question, because I'm just like, okay, well, if we get rid of all Black men, what would be the future of Black women? But if you guys don't care, then it makes sense.
Yeah, the Black race had its chance to go ahead and make the corrections, and now we're just over it at this point. It's we can all disappear for all I give a fuck, because the thing is, we have not been treated correctly. Nobody has respect for Black women, especially Black men. So me being, or any of us being concerned about their future, that would just be some dumb shit.
Like, think about how many of our grandmothers and great grandmothers sacrificed a decent life just so they could have Black great descendants. Like, what was the benefit? They still got STDs from they niggas who was fucking hella women outside the community peeing. Like, I want to live my best life. And if somebody,
Cameron, let me ask you this real quick. Do you think you know how all these channels are on YouTube right now, and these niggas are always live? Do you think someone somewhere that they're dusty and they're saying, well, what's going to happen to Black women if we stop dating black women? Do you think they're saying that at all?
I have something that I want to put in.
Do I think Black men are saying what's going to happen to Black men if we stop dating Black women?
Do you think that they're saying or asking what's going to happen to Black women if they quit dating us, if we just disappeared? Or do you think they're concerned about that?
No, and I also don't think that they're thinking about what will happen to them.
Yeah, because they have no self-worth. They that's one thing they got right, because they ain't worth a damn. That's a fact.
They be thinking when they have mixed kids, the kids gonna be Black, and they don't realize when those kids don't have kids with Black people, then their Black genes are gone. It only takes 2 generations.
Girl, if the dude light skin, it only take one. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
So I would suggest y'all do y'all for real, and don't give a damn about what's going on with them. They can kick rocks with those Jesus flip flops on.
My thing is, why do we keep putting this on our backs? Oh, well, I want my kids to look like me. Skin wise, no, the baby not gonna look like you, but genetically, like facial features, your baby is gonna look like you. Shut up.
Have y'all ever seen Eartha Kitt's daughter?
Yeah, I saw her.
Like a carbon copy of Eartha Kitt, but she's white.
Yeah, I saw her.
Exactly. Like, your baby is gonna look like you. Skin tone, probably not, but your baby is going to look like you. Stop putting the Black
but the baby won't be
back.
the baby won't be Black though.
So
I don't really care. I don't care if another Black person is born. ever, starting this
Right.
very minute. I really just don't give a damn
Well,
because
I
look
mean,
at what
I understand
happened.
the frustration for sure, and I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. But I'm not ready to just completely say, well, fuck the black race. Who cares if we exist?
Well,
I'm not
stick
all the way
around.
there
Stick
yet.
around, Cameron. Stick
You'll get
around.
there.
You'll get there. Trust me, because
Here's the
somebody's
thing.
gonna send you over the edge.
I was a
Right.
straight up mule from a very young age. I was a straight up mule. If I wasn't giving my money, I was giving my time to other people's kids. I remember waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had to be at work till 11 a.m., but I'm up at 6 because somebody else's child got to go to school, and I got to take them. I muled myself out from a very young age, so I second that. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I'm here to live for me. I have a right to be selfish. I have never been selfish before in my life. I have earned it, and I have a right to it. So no, I'm not going to put the black community on my back anymore. And I suggest you don't either, because it's going to put you down a hole you don't want to be.
If say for instance, we just kept making other black people, that's all it's gonna be. There's just gonna be more of the same shit every single time. Nothing's changing. I don't give a damn whether it changed or not. I'm just trying to get black women away from these dusty, crusty ass people and have them take care of themselves. You feel me?
And why bring more black people onto this hell? This shit ain't fun. This life
No.
is miserable. I don't want to bring no more black folks into this. This is horrible.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. They've been at the bottom for God knows how long. And then every generation thinks they're going to be the generation that changes shit. There's certain content creators right now that still feel the same way, trying to whip black men into shape. You can't do it. They don't have the capacity to do it. They don't have the capacity to do it or the brain power to do it. And most of all, they don't have the desire to do it. Let's talk about that, okay?
And I have something I wanted to put in as well, because I know a lot of black women, they feel like what I want my kids to look like me and all that good stuff. But like, I think that most, mentally well, mentally healthy black women, we carry a healthy black culture, if that makes sense. And we know how to weed out toxicity and, just all that extra stuff. So it's like, I don't think the culture is going to die with us divesting. I think actually it's going to become a lot healthier. And, we can differentiate like who is the toxic people and who's not. So I'm not really too worried about people looking like us because like looks evolve over time. I don't think we all look like the black people from like, 2000 years ago. So it's like it's cool with me, just with not looking alike. Just as long as we keep
Black
like
men should be happy that black people are disappearing. They don't like black people, especially the
Right.
yeah.
women. So they should be doing, throwing that boy bussy about it. They should be really happy about it, y'all. Welcome to the panel. Happy 16.
Hey y'all,
Hey,
I want to comment. Can you hear me?
we can.
Oh, sorry. I want to comment on the other caller. I really get annoyed when people say stuff about the black race, like, oh, we're gonna disappear. That's why you guys are out here like fucking like rabbits and having kids every 2 seconds. Like that whole mentality is just so crazy to me. But
It's just about being present, and I don't get it. They're not productive. They're violent. They perform the lowest in every goddamn industry. So I don't know what is the purpose at this point. Break off, make your own
I
individual families, and be happy.
I don't really
Right.
care. And then also to go off on top of that, because I was thinking, I was like, because, like I'm beautiful. I want to, replicate myself. And I'm a dark skinned woman. And so is my mom.
Hmm.
I look exactly like my mom, right? And I'm
Hmm.
just like, I got over that. Like, if I want a dark skinned little girl, I'm going to adopt a dark skinned little girl, period.
There's enough of them
I'm
out there that are
comfortable.
unwanted
There's
by those
enough of
same
them
dark
that
skinned
are
men.
without a home. So if you really
Yes.
care that much, how about we rehome these kids who are left to the system and then end up on the streets and then end up right in jail?
Yep.
But they don't think about that. It's, oh my God, we have to keep having more kids, keep having more kids. Okay, there's Africa, there's an entire continent that's doing that. I feel like this
And
is
they are
very
fucking like rabbits
America.
too.
I feel like it's very like America centric, where they're like, they feel like they're going to disappear. And it's like, to me, I'm like, there's an entire continent of black people. The black people in America is very small. Like, come on. very small. And I mean, if we go down this path of, not having black kids, okay, so what? We look like Australia in 200 years. Who gives a fuck? Like, let's stop having this conversation.
Mm-hmm. So
Like,
someone
Australia
said,
only has 30,000 Aboriginal black people.
okay, let me see
Okay.
what she means. What she means by this. Let me go back up here. I done lost the damn comment. It says something to the effect of there's 290 million Nigerians, and that's just in Nigeria. Here it is. Sorry about that. Not all of sub-Saharan black folks will be fine. Now American blacks will be extinct. Oh well. Well, I have a feeling that you may be African, but we'll talk about the Asians later. Okay. Let's just put that out there. So black
I'll
folk on
just put
each
it out
continent
there.
is they're in a mess, no matter what continent they're on.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I'll put it out there. I am African. I was born in Africa. I'm not going to say what country, but I was born in Africa, and me and my family immigrated to America during one of the civil wars. And it's a mess. It is a mess. These Chinese people are buying up the land. They are building.
Who's
They
letting
are
them do
taking
it
on
though?
everything. The men, the government. So why
Oh
would
Nakers,
I
yeah.
care?
nakers,
Okay, y'all.
naking.
Let's stop having this conversation. It's redundant at this point. The men aren't in power. They're useless, absolutely useless in these countries.
Of
Just
course.
over the summer in Nigeria, they were hoarding food. The government were hoarding food, and the people are on the streets starving.
Well, that's what
Like,
it looks like when
it's
black men are the
ridiculous.
majority.
There's an entire continent that are ruled mostly by men. And look at what it's doing. It looks a mess.
Yeah. Look at Detroit. Look at anywhere where there's a lot of them. It's a fucking hellhole. It's a hellhole.
Facts.
So it
I
is going
don't
to be
think
redundant speaking because, like I said before, there's a 15-year-old girl that hasn't found us yet. She need to hear this too, baby girl. So it's going to get real redundant around this bitch.
Um,
I think we shouldn't repeat the steps of our ancestors. Like we see that
Right.
they are literally still in chains, and it's like I don't want to be with the man that's in chains. I don't. I want to be with the one that's like, you know, that has him in chains because it's like, it's better for me personally.
Ladies, I worked at a homeless shelter for teenagers, and I was shocked to see that the majority of the people that lived there were black girls, beautiful black women. They have been kicked out. They have been sex trafficked. They have been kicked out of the foster care system. It's no sense in making no more children. No more black children. It's a wrap for us. It's over. We need to just go on and let it go.
I agree.
Yeah, stop putting it on your back. Like, I don't know why black women are the only ones who feel like, oh, well, I want my kids to look like me, or I want to, continue the black race and I want to have black kids and all this other stuff. Okay, good luck.
And
The
it's
information divestment is here to help you. Whether or not you want to take it is up to you. You're a grown ass woman. Good luck.
right, and they're your kids. So, like the other person said, they're gonna fucking look like you, even if they don't look exactly like you. They're gonna have some of your features, just because they aren't black. People are obsessing over the whole, oh, I need to be with a black man, and black men can only give me black kids. But black men think that having sex with a white woman or any other race is gonna give black kids, and that's not how it works. So I don't
Here's
know why everybody's obsessed with this.
here's my thing. If you're
Exactly.
hooked on complexion, there are like dark skinned like Indian men and all of that. You can have
Yes.
kids with and
Yes.
figure it out
Exactly.
with a dark skin tone if complexion is that damn important to you. If it is that important to you, there are men in other countries of other ethnicities with dark skin tones who will not only date you, have kids with you, marry you, and you will still have your little dark babies. That is a guarantee.
They'll be
But you
chocolate
do
as
not
fuck.
have to slave yourself
Right.
out to men who don't like you, don't love you, don't respect you, and use up your body until you can't be used up anymore just to have a child. I'm sorry. No, no, no.
It's just an excuse to want to have sex with these degenerates,
Right.
because they prefer them. And it's really sad to watch that my so-called sisters are preferring somebody that absolutely
That doesn't
detests
give a
them.
fuck.
They detest you, everything about you, your hair, your smell, what you do, how you look, your aesthetic, your weight, your demeanor, your attitude. They hate everything about you. And then you jump your ass on here and say, well, I can't fuck with no white man. I can't fuck with no Asian man. You look real silly at this point. And you just put your clown nose on and have a seat.
That's it. Can I just mention something about that? So in
Okay.
college, I was like really experimenting with like my sexuality and stuff, and so I was mostly only dating. Yes, okay, I'll say dating slash entertaining like non-black men. And one of my friends really got on me about that. She was like, "Oh, you're the white man's whore." They're like just saying all these horrible things to me, and I'm just like, and I looked at her situation and mine, like I'm literally talking to like engineers and stuff like that, right?
Right.
She's talking to a dude who's selling drugs at his mama's house. Cheated on her, had bugs in her house, almost hit her with his car. Like the foolishness, y'all. So to even compare those two, and she was saying all these stuff to me, I was just like, you know what? And I didn't talk to her for a couple of months in college. So I was like, I don't need this toxicity in my life. And like a lot of people, like my other friends would like joke and be like, oh, so and so, like she doesn't date black guys. I was like, actually, they don't date me. And I'm not sitting here waiting around for one. So move around. And I really told those bitches to get the fuck out my face. I don't got the time of day to be sitting here waiting for some unicorn. Like, please expand your options. Live your life for you. Don't, I always tell my friends this, you don't have to care about what everybody else is doing. Live your life for you, because if you don't, 10 years down the line, you're going to be the only one with regrets.
You are so right, because I did what you did. I just opened up my options a little bit, and this was before I was even divested or even came across divested content. And my uncle yelled at me about it. All I did was went on a date with a couple of white dudes. That's it. I didn't do anything else, and he yelled at me.
Let
And
me
I
see
couldn't understand
something
what I was
real
being
quick,
yelled at
y'all.
for.
It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. So let me see if I'm getting ready to have some fun real quick. Are you trolling? Who's this? Yeah,
Hello.
that had to have been a troll. Anyway, y'all, it's been 2 hours and 12 minutes. Y'all pick a subject next time for next time. Also, send me your URL for your wrench. And that's about it, y'all. I ain't got nothing else. Stay your ass out of these black folks' business. Stop muling. You will lose. Period. Anybody else got any closing remarks?
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course,
See you
of
ladies
course.
in the Discord.
Wait, are they
Oh
still in
yeah,
the private? Are they
Thank
still in
you
the
for
private
having
chat?
me.
they may be. I think it's some Dusty, and if I hear a Dusty's voice, I'm gonna fucking explode. So,
Thanks for class today, DZ.
of course, I love
Yeah,
y'all so
thank you. This
much.
was
Can you guys,
interesting.
can you link the Discord in the chat, please?
Um, I'll put it in there in the comment section. If
Thank you. And then thank
yeah.
you so much for doing what you do. And I hope you have a good night.
All right, you too, babe.
Peace and blessings, ladies.
Peace out.
Good night, ladies.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, hon.